Hello, BookTube. Trying a little experiment here, a different filming location. I have, at the moment, a demanding house guest who is currently in bed in the little book room where I ordinarily film, taking what I believe humans refer to as a nap. We walked around a lot today and did a lot of things and had a lot of fun. And that wore the poor little thing out. So he's taking a nap before an evening of wine and food and conversation. He needs to store up his strength. So I thought I would come out here where I can't disturb him and do some mail. And maybe show you some more books as well. Because I don't like the idea of you going without videos just because I'm enjoying myself. So I have a little mail haul here. We'll see what we have. It ends in a couple of boxes, so it could be good. Oh, and look at that, right out of the bat. The first book is a Penguin classic. This is something I really like, that I get Penguin classics in the mail. So this is the Book of Emma Reyes in a Penguin classic. This made headlines, I believe, a couple of years ago. A literary discovery, an extraordinary posthumously published memoir of a Colombian woman's harrowing childhood. And this comes out in early August. I remember the talk about this thing. I had no idea it would be fast-tracked to be a Penguin. It chronicles the harrowing childhood of Emma Reyes before she escaped poverty and life in Catholic convent to become an artist and intellectual friends with friends such as Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. And I did not read this when there was a hullabaloo about it, so I'll get to read it now as a Penguin classic. That's wonderful. Where am I going to put these things? Let's put them right there. All right, so I didn't try out this location before I set up the camera, so we're going to have to get accustomed to its feng shui together. Okay, this is from the folks at Angry Robot. Also comes out in August. They're a small but really inventive science fiction publisher here in the United States, and they do paperback originals, which I really like. And this one is Implanted by Lauren Tefo. When college student Emery Driscoll is blackmailed into being a courier for a clandestine organization, she's cut off from the neural implant community which binds the dome-shielded city of New Worth together. Her new masters exploit her rare condition, which allows her to carry encoded data in her blood and train Emery to transport secrets throughout the troubled city. New Worth is on the brink of emergence, with a capital E, freedom from the dome. But not everyone wants to leave. Then a data drop goes very bad, and Emery is caught between two factions, those who want her blood and those who just want her dead. Now that is a really good back cover blurb. And as you have seen with me together on this channel, not all of them are. It's an art form. I noticed that somebody in the employ of Angry Robot has the knack. So this is great. I wonder if this is do we know anything about... oh, okay, great. This was my question. Implanted is her first novel. Isn't that wonderful? She gets her first novel. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so a Penguin classic and a debut work of science fiction. So we're doing just fine so far. I don't think I'm in any danger of waking up my guest, because like most humans, he sleeps like the dead. I'm probably going to have to wake him up when the time comes for us to order food from the place next door. Okay, so this one comes out in late October. It's by Michael McGarity. It is Residue, a Kevin Kearney novel. Kind of a nice cover there, very minimalist. Against the backdrop of the harsh desert and high mountain country of southwestern New Mexico, a high-octane quest for the truth untangles a complex history of dark family secrets, cold-blooded murders, rogue cops, a devastating plane crash, and the possibility of one family's reconciliation. Former police chief Kevin Kearney returns, in this time as a prime suspect in a brutal cold case murder. And I seem to remember this series. This is stoically written hard-hitting police procedural, if that's your cup of tea. And every once in a while, in fact, with a regular basis, that is my cup of tea. So that's fantastic, wonderful. Let's just move on here. What is this next one? Finished copy. Boy, oh boy, we can't get away from atheists, can we, on this channel? It's like people are trying to bait me. So this is from Norton. This comes out later in this month. This is the finished copy of a book by R. Lawrence Moore and Isaac Kramnik called Godless Citizens in a Godly Republic, Atheists in American Public Life. In their sharp new book, the authors explore the inequality that atheists have experienced in colonial times until now in our Christian-dominated nation. We will never know their numbers, as atheists in early America were unable to speak publicly about their non-belief without facing criminal charges. They weren't allowed to give testimony in court, nor could they hold public office, even as notaries. In pointing out the injustices, this book brings to the fore fascinating court cases. There was no straight line of progress that started giving these second-class citizens more rights as they fought for freedom to speak against religion and insisted that moral stances should be given the importance of religious ones. Okay. The authors also consider the treatment of atheists in politics, like founding father Thomas Paine and New York politician Robert Ingersoll. The subject of the latter is the subject of a great biography by Susan Jacoby. And they find Christianity is still encoded in the fabric of our government and laws. They follow how under God was officially added to the Pledge of Allegiance in 1954 and was contested until 2010 when the federal courts declared its use constitutional. But its use is absolutely not constitutional. Absolutely not constitutional. It is not constitutional to require school children to swear an oath to God. That is a direct contradiction of the First Amendment to the Constitution. But anyway, they're not saying that it is. I'm just saying that it is. In this illuminating discussion of the Hobby Lobby case, they explain how the Supreme Court allowed the claim of religious freedom to earn an exemption from a law that applied to everyone else. The founders of the American Republic never imagined that religious freedom would become legal grounds to discriminate. Oh, yes, they did. What is that line? Can you believe it? This is still the pub sheet, keep in mind, not the book, but let's read that again. The founders of the American Republic never imagined that religious freedom would become legal grounds to discriminate. They imagined precisely that, which is why they set up the Constitution to guard against that kind of perversion of religious bullying. They imagined exactly that. And now it's come to nothing. Those of you who follow the United States Supreme Court here in America will have noticed another recent victory for the religious right. To another ruling that applied broadly. This one isn't. It was construed narrowly, but it will easily be used as precedence from now on. Applied broadly allows you to discriminate against customers because you claim your religion allows you to. And that is the courts have been, before the court was packed with right-wing zealots, they were wary about making decisions that were footsteps down the path to a theocracy. And they were right to be so. And that decision was, it was a blow to gay rights in this country, but it was also a blow to the separation of church and state. Very much so. This book's already got me going, but we'll see. This seems fascinating. Let's take a look. Since it's coming right up and I haven't read it, I'm going to have to know about it. I wonder how much of it is historical. Part 1 is Atheists in America, Their Past. Then Part 2 is Atheists in America, Their Present. And they are equal length. Okay, so half the book is Thomas Paine and Robert Ingersoll and a bunch of other people. That's going to be fascinating on its own. Absolutely. Let's see what this next one is. And then we'll get to the boxes on this little experiment, this little nap time mail haul. Okay, this is a debut short story collection from the author of The Answers and Nobody Is Ever Missing, Catherine Lacey. The title of it is Certain American States. And and it is covered in laudatory blurbs. And it's covered in a speaking schedule. What about us poor slobs who just want to know about the book? Oh my God, yet more blurbs. These are all blurbs for her book, The Answers, her novel, The Answers. Dwight Garner praised it. Molly Young praised it in the New York Times. Megan O'Grady praised it in Vogue. Somebody named Sam Sachs praised it in the Wall Street Journal. Let's see what he had to say. The Answers is in part a sparkling satire of our era of big data, but the novel is also a spiritual lament. The specter of holiness haunts Miss Lacey's book like a phantom limb. Searching religious dimensions add to the fresh commentary on present-day godheads to make The Answers not just one of the most ingenious novels of 2017, but also one of the most moving. Sounds like some sort of egghead. Okay, oh, well, good Lord. Okay, Nobody's Ever Missing also got blurbs from Dwight Garner and Sam Sachs. Okay, I am now on page 85 of the pub sheet. Wow, okay. All right, well, this is a bit unprecedented. The pub sheet contains no information about the book. It's just quote after quote after quote. So what have we got on the back here? Okay, the back is also entirely blurbs. So, Certain American States is a collection of stories by Catherine Lacey. It is her very first collection of short stories, and it comes out on August 7th. I can't tell you anything else about it except after I read it. So I'll report back. And then we've got these boxes. There's one that's small and one that's bigger. We'll see what we've got here. Here's the smaller one. Oh, the smaller one is 2 books. Okay. As I've mentioned a couple of times in the past, my favorite witching hour event in a mail haul is when I not only get free Penguin Classics, but also at the same time, in the same mail haul, free romance novels. And this is one of those mail hauls. The first one is Kristen Higgins. This is Good Luck with That. Paperback original. Let's see here. Emerson, Georgia, and Marley have been best friends ever since they met at a weight loss camp as teens. When Emerson tragically passes away, she leaves one final wish for her best friends, to conquer the fears they still carry as adults. For each of them, that means something different. For Marley, it is coming to terms with the survivor's guilt she has carried around since her twin sister's death, which has left her blind to the real chance for romance in her life. For Georgia, it is about learning to stop trying to live up to her mother's and brother's ridiculous standards and learning to accept the love her ex-husband has tried to give her. But as Marley and Georgia grow stronger, the real meaning of Emerson's dying wish becomes truly clear. More than anything, she wanted her friends to love themselves. Okay, so that sounds like a bit more of a romance, a bit more than just the standard by-the-numbers romance. I'm always up for that. And then, oh goodness gracious. Okay, the next one's by Lorelei James. I don't think it's going to be transcending any tropes. This is Racked and Stacked, a Blacktop Cowboys novel. And that is the cover. The author is, she's lost herself into part. She also has a black cowboy hat. Growing up with 3 older brothers, Larissa Riss Thorpe defines the term tomboy, a moniker that never mattered to her until she crossed paths with sexy cowboy player Ike Palmer. Cowboy play? Oh, cowboy player. Oh, he's not playing a cowboy on the stage or screen. He is a cowboy who cads around. Okay, all right, I'm hip with the jive. Seeing him in action and on the road, Riss can tell that Ike prefers his women soft-spoken and feminine. And since Riss is obviously not his type, it's unlikely they'll mix business with pleasure when they're in close quarters together. Right. Former cattle broker Ike Palmer was ready for a new chapter in his life as a stock contractor when he started working with Riss, a sassy truck driver who gets under his skin at every turn. But Riss is unlike any woman he's ever met, and her candor inflames him in the most unexpected ways. Has this guy never read a romance novel that he finds these ways unexpected? They're extremely expected, but this could still be lots of spirited fun. I'm certainly in the mood. And then we've got the box here. This thing, which is It says Amazon on the box, but I'm pretty sure. Got a little schnauzer wandering around. She's a little confused with having an extra person in the house. Extra confused with somebody on the bed. That's But anyway, as I was saying, I don't think I've ordered anything from Amazon. So, oh, you know what this could be? This could be a package from one of you. Could it be possible that we do Project Penguin 3 days in a row? No way. There's no... Oh, it is. That's exactly what this is. Okay, for those of you in the cheap seats, Project Penguin is not visible in this video. In the other room, where I currently have a boy asleep, there's an entire wall of Penguin Classic, Black Spine Penguin Classic trade paperbacks. An entire wall of my favorite reprints. I love Penguin Classics with a passion. And the idea was floated a while ago, over a year ago, of maybe filling that entire room with Penguin Classics and just repatriating the books that are in there out here. And in order to make that happen, I enlisted the rest of you. I said that Project Penguin will consist of all of you going to your local charity shops or used bookstores or whatever, and taking pictures of the Penguin Classics that are on sale there and sending me those pictures. At which case, I will either say, I've already got that one, and that boil on your nose really needs looking at, or I will say, me wanty. And for 3 days in a row now, I have got penguins in the mail from you, and this is incredible. It can't keep up at this rate, but if it were to, Project Penguin would be a reality before the year is over, and that would be amazing. Imagine a whole room full of Penguin Classics. But anyway, what have we got here? Okay, so this one is The Haunting of Hill House, perfect condition. Shirley Jackson for the centennial. The Shirley Jackson Centennial from 2016. So this is a couple of years old, but look at it. Jeez. And oh, look at that. In absolutely perfect condition. Perfect condition because unread condition. I know this perfectly well, but nevertheless, it's my very own Praise of Folly by Erasmus. Which I don't know if I can actually affect this, but if you turn the camera around, there is the cover painting. I don't know if that came out. But if you turn the camera around, right on the other wall is the Quentin Matit's portrait of Erasmus. And there he is. And this is The Praise of Folly, his amazingly good religious satire. And then, the complete poems of Walt Whitman. Look at that. Is that an Eakins painting on the cover? No, it's a detail from The Raft by Daniel Bennett Schwartz. Oh, but it's an homage to Thomas Eakins. It's meant to look like an Eakins painting, which is absolutely fitting. Wow, a complete Whitman. Look at that. And then the last one is a perfect condition trade paperback of the Penguin Classic, Ovid's Metamorphoses. So this particular installment of Project Penguin has Erasmus and my favorite book of all time. That's good Lord. Thank you so much. You know who you are. And what else? Oh, the box has a dog treat. Oh my. Oh goodness. I think a certain someone would make short work of that thing. All right, so let's see if we can do this here in this new arrangement. We have Residue, hard-boiled police procedural. We have Certain American States by Catherine Lacey, which is loved by all. We have Godless Citizens in a Godly Republic, about what it is to be an atheist in America. We have Racked and Stacked by Lorelei James. We have Good Luck with That by Kristen Higgins, who sounds like she's going to write a deeper book than just Boy Meets Girl. And Implanted, the science fiction debut by Lauren Tifo. And The Book of Emma Race, the Penguin Classic of a newly discovered memoir. And then a bunch of more Penguin Classics. We have The Praise of Folly by Erasmus. We have The Metamorphoses by Ovid. We have The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. And we have The Complete Poems of Walt Whitman. Look at that. Good Lord. Okay. Well, that'll do it for now. So I'm going to wrap this up and see how things stand here at Hyde Cottage. But I will return. Thank you, BookTube.